Hi there, and welcome back to Blue Ocean English. This is lesson 7 in a series about phrasal verbs. So let's get straight into it. The first one is go over. So we go over to someone's house means to visit them. So if we look at the 3 examples, I think I will go over to Jane's house tonight. I will visit her. The second example, she's going over to Amsterdam next month. She will be working in the Dutch office for the next 3 months. So she's travelling to Amsterdam. And the third example, I went over to my parents' house after work last night. They seemed fine, so I visited my parents. And then the second phrasal verb, also go over, but now with something. We go over something, like a document, an email, a report, or an idea. And it means to review it, to look at it again, or to study it carefully. So if we look at the 3 examples, can we go over the report again? I have some questions. So can we review it? He went over the new proposal very carefully. We can't afford to make a mistake. So he looked at it very carefully, reviewed it, studied it, so there's no mistakes. And the last example, I went over my presentation one more time today. I think it's ready now. So I reviewed it, I studied it one more time. The third idiom is one that's a very common mistake for people to make when they're learning to speak English. So we grow up. People grow up. Trees grow. People grow up. Plants grow. People grow up. So the time you spend as a child is when you grow up. Where you grew up is where you spent your childhood. And if we look at the 3 examples, I grew up in Sydney. It's a great place to be young. I spent the period of my life when I was young in Sydney. The second example, I refused to let my children grow up in the city. We moved out of London and now we live in the countryside. So I didn't want my children to be young and learning to live in the world in the city. I wanted them to learn about the countryside. And the third example, I would have loved to have grown up in Canada. I always wanted to play ice hockey. So it would have been nice to be young in Canada and learn to play ice hockey. And then we use grow up as a way to say to someone, stop being a child, behave like an adult, behave responsibly. And if we look at the 3 examples, please, you have to grow up. You are a father now, so you need to be responsible. You have children. And the second example, it's not always good for a child to grow up too soon. They need to enjoy being a child first. So here we're saying it's good for children to be children for a long time. They don't need to be adults too soon. And the last example, she has grown up a lot in the last 18 months. She's changing significantly. So she's changed a lot. She's becoming an adult now. So that's it for today's phrasal verbs. Now we're going to go to the Van Gogh Cafe and I'll show you in a real life type situation how you can learn to use these phrasal verbs in your world and be able to use them when you really need them. Welcome back to my copy of the Van Gogh Cafe in France. Now I'll show you how to use all these phrasal verbs using the things that you can see in your life, in your real world, to create phrases, examples of these phrases, and practice using them. So let's get started. The first phrasal verb for today is go over. So this means to visit someone or go to a place. So I'm going over to the shop after here to buy some cakes. They do really nice cakes over there. Or I could say the woman in the white dress went over to her brother's house last week. She visited her brother last week. And then the other meaning for go over, when we go over a report or a document to review it, I could say I brought a document from work. I'm going to go over it while I have a coffee here. So I'm going to have a coffee and review my work documents. Or I need to leave in a few minutes. I need to go home and go over a few emails before I eat my dinner. So I need to review, go through a few emails. And then the second phrasal verb for today, grow up. So the first meaning for grow up is where we spend our childhood. So I could say here we're in France. I could say I didn't grow up around here. I grew up in England. Or the waiter didn't grow up here either. He grew up in Paris. And the second meaning for grow up is when you're telling someone to behave more like an adult, to behave more responsibly. Here I could say the boy in yellow was being silly. He needs to grow up a bit. He needs to behave a bit more normal like an adult. Or I could say the boy in yellow again, when he's older, he won't be so silly and full of energy like a child. He will have grown up. So that's all the phrasal verbs for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and now see if you can find time to go outside, go for a walk, look around your world, find ways to use these phrases, practice them in your world, and they can become part of your vocabulary when you speak English. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Here we are, just another typical English summer day. Just before I go, it's just me doing everything here at Blue Ocean English. So if you like what I'm doing and you want to see more, please don't forget to leave a comment. Maybe you have an idea for a video or a nice background picture that you'd like to see, or share this video with a friend. The best way for you to say thank you is to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and check out my merchandise, all the nice things you can buy, t-shirts, hats. You can also check out our great books on Amazon. There's 3 phrasal verb books, An Ocean of English Phrasal Verbs, each book with 200 examples, a lovely picture, and 3 clear examples of how we use each phrase. And then 3 books for idioms. They're called An Ocean of English Idioms. Also 3 books with 600 idioms, 200 in each book, all with a picture and 3 clear examples of how we use each idiom. Thank you very much for watching, and wherever you are, try to feel English today.